Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what part of the world you're on. Today I'm reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the first canto. I'm reading from chapter 2, entitled Divinity and Divine Service. I've been reading this Srimad Bhagavatam for approximately the past 5 days. I believe this is day number 5, on video. This video recording is done as a yajna, which means sacrifice done to Lord Vishnu. The purpose of this sacrifice is to counteract the malevolent, malicious, demoniac, evil forces in the world today that are overtaking and overrunning our society in so many different ways. This is text number 3. I'll start with the invocation, which is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I then chant 3 of the slokas from the second chapter as well, which are commonly chanted before the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nastaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashavana Kirtanaha Hridayanta Sto Yabhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. Text number 3. Jasvanubhavam Akila Shuti Saram Ekam Adhyatma Deepam Atitir Shatam Tamondam Samsarinam Karunayaha Purana Guyam Tam Vyasa Sunumupayami Gurum Muninam Yasvanubhavam Akila Shruti Saram Ekam Adhyatma Deepam Atitir Shatam Tamo Andam Samsharinam Karunaya Ha Purana Guyam Tam Vyasa Sunumupayami Gurum Muninam Yasvanubhavam Akila Shruti Saram Ekam Adhyatma Deepam Atiti Tirshatam Tamondam Samsharinam Kurunaya Ha Purana Guyam Tam Vyasa Sunumupayami Gurum Muninam Jaha, he who Swa-anubhavam, self-assimilated, experienced. Akila, all around. Shruti, the Vedas. Saram, cream. Ekam, the only one. Adhyatma, transcendental. Deepam, torchlight. Atitir, ati, tirshatam, desiring to overcome. Tamaha, andam, deeply dark material existence. Samsharinam, of the materialistic men. Karunaya, out of causeless mercy. Aha, said. Purana, supplement to the Vedas. Guhyam, very confidential. Tam, unto him. Vyasunum, the son of Vyasadeva. Upayami, let me offer my obeisances. Gurum, the spiritual master. Muninam, of the great sages. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who, out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge, after having personally assimilated it by experience. Purport. In this prayer, Srila Sutta Goswami practically summarizes the complete introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural supplementary commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. The Vedanta Sutras, or the Brahma Sutras, were compiled by Vyasadeva with a view to presenting just the cream of Vedic knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on this cream. Srila Sukadeva Goswami was a thoroughly realized master of the Vedanta Sutra, and consequently, he also personally realized the commentary Srimad Bhagavatam. And just to show his boundless mercy upon bewildered materialistic men who want to cross completely over nescience, he recited for the first time this confidential knowledge. There's no point in arguing that a materialistic man can be happy. No materialistic creature, be he the great Brahma or an insignificant ant, can be happy. Everyone tries to make a permanent plan for happiness, but everyone is baffled by the laws of material nature. Therefore, the materialistic world is called the darkest region of God's creation. Yet the unhappy materialists can get out of it simply by desiring to get out. Unfortunately, they are so foolish that they do not want to escape. Therefore, they are compared to the camel who relishes thorny twigs because he likes the taste of the twigs mixed with blood. He does not realize that it is his own blood and that his tongue is being cut by the thorns. Similarly, to the materialist, his own blood is as sweet as honey, and although he is always harassed by his own material creations, he does not wish to escape. Such materialists are called karmis. Out of hundreds of thousands of karmis, only a few may feel tired of material engagement and desire to get out of the labyrinth. Such intelligent persons are called jnanis. The Vedanta Sutra is directed to such jnanis, but Srila Vyasadeva, being the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, could foresee the misuse of the Vedanta Sutra by unscrupulous men, and therefore he personally supplemented the Vedanta Sutra with the Bhagavat Puran. It is clearly said that this Bhagavatam is the original commentary on the Brahma Sutras. Srila Vyasadeva also instructed the Bhagavatam to his own son, Srila Sukadeva Goswami, who was already at the liberated stage of transcendence. Srila Sukadeva Goswami realized it personally and then explained it. By the mercy of Srila Sukadeva, the Bhagavat Vedanta Sutra is available for all those sincere souls who want to get out of material existence. Srimad Bhagavatam is the one unrivaled commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Sripad Sankaracharya intentionally did not touch it because he knew that the natural commentary would be difficult for him to surpass. He wrote his Saririka boss, and his so-called followers deprecated the Bhagavatam as some new presentation. One should not be misled by such propaganda directed against the Bhagavatam by the Mayavad school. From this introductory sloka, the beginning student should know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the only transcendental literature meant for those who are Paramahamsas and completely freed from the material disease called malice. The Mayavadis are envious of the personality of Godhead despite Sripad Sankaracharya's admission that Narayan, the personality of Godhead, is above the material creation. The envious Mayavadi cannot have access to the Bhagavatam, but those who are really anxious to get out of this material existence may take shelter of this Bhagavatam because it is uttered by the liberated Srila Sukadeva Goswami. It is the transcendental torchlight by which one can perfectly see the transcendental absolute truth realized as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Text number 4. This is one of the verses that is commonly recited before the Bhagavatam. Narayanam namaskrityan haram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. This is text number 4. Narayanam namaskritya naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayat. Narayanam namaskritya naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayat. Narayanam, the personality of Godhead. Namaha kritya, after offering respectful obeisances. Naram Cha'eva and Narayan Rishi. Nara Uttamam, the supermost human being. Devim, the goddess. Saraswatim, the mistress of learning. Vyasam, Vyasadev. Tataha, thereafter. Jayam, all that is meant for conquering. Udirayat, be announced. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Nar Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Purport. All the Vedic literatures and the Puranas are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. The living being is in the state of forgetfulness of his relation with God due to his being overly attracted to material sense gratification from time immemorial. His struggle for existence in the material world is perpetual, and it is not possible for him to get out of it by making plans. If he at all wants to conquer this perpetual struggle for existence, he must re-establish his eternal relation with God. And one who wants to adopt such remedial measures must take shelter of literatures such as the Vedas and the Puranas. Foolish people say that the Puranas have no connection with the Vedas. However, the Vedas are supplementary explanations. However, the Puranas are supplementary explanations of the Vedas intended for different types of men. All men are not equal. There are men who are conducted by the mode of goodness, others who are under the mode of passion, and others who are under the mode of ignorance. The Puranas are so divided that any class of men can take advantage of them and gradually regain their lost position and get out of the hard struggle for existence. Srila Sutta Goswami shows the way of chanting the Puranas. This may be followed by persons who aspire to be preachers of the Vedic literatures and the Puranas. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Puran, and it is especially meant for those who desire to get out of the material entanglement permanently. Text number 5. Munayaha sadhu prishtoham bhavatbir lokamangalam yatkrita krishna samprashno jainatma suprasidati. Munayaha sadhu prishtoham bhavadbir lokamangalam yatkrita krishna samprashno jainatma suprasidati. Munayaha sadhu prishtoham bhavadbir lokamangalam yatkrita krishna samprashno jainatma suprasidati. Munayaha, O sages. Sadhu, this is relevant. Prishtaha, questioned. Aham, myself. Bhavadbihi, by all of you. Loka, the world. Mangalam, welfare. Jat, because. Kritaha, made. Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Samprashnaha, relevant question. Jaina, by which. Atma, self. Suprasidati, completely pleased. Translation. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna, and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Purport. Since it has been stated herein before that in the Bhagavatam the absolute truth is to be known, the questions of the sages of Naimisharanya are proper and just, because they pertain to Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. In Bhagavad Gita 15:15, the Personality of Godhead says that in all the Vedas there is nothing but the urge for searching after Him, Lord Krishna. Thus, the questions that pertain to Krishna are the sum and substance of all the Vedic inquiries. The whole world is full of questions and answers. The birds, beasts, and men are all busy in the matter of perpetual questions and answers. In the morning, the birds in the nest become busy with questions and answers. And in the evening, also the same birds come back and again become busy with questions and answers. The human being, unless he is fast asleep at night, is busy with questions and answers. The businessmen in the market are busy with questions and answers, and so also the lawyers in the courts, and the students in the schools and colleges. The legislators in parliament are also busy with questions and answers, and the politicians and the press representatives are all busy with questions and answers. Although they go on making such questions and answers for their whole lives, they are not at all satisfied. Satisfaction of the soul can only be obtained by question and answers on the subject of Krishna. Krishna is our most intimate master, friend, father, or son, an object of conjugal love. Forgetting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers, but none of them are able to give us complete satisfaction. All things but Krishna give temporary satisfaction only. So if we are to have complete satisfaction, we must take to the questions and answers about Krishna. We cannot live for a moment without being questioned or without giving answers. Because the Srimad Bhagavatam deals with questions and answers that are related to Krishna, we can derive the highest satisfaction only by reading and hearing this transcendental literature. One should learn the Srimad Bhagavatam and make an all-around solution to all problems pertaining to social, political, or religious matters. Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna are the sum total of all things. Thank you very much.